Hey there, it's Arash, host of Burner Podcast, founder of Just My Hype, Southern California based photographer. I forgot what my intro things are. I'm sitting here in my typical morning nook journal writing planning thing, and it was just occurring to me that the last video that I uploaded was the one where I was like in more of a sad space, and I was like, I'm gonna be super authentic and sincere and tell you about how I'm feeling that day. And then like multiple days went by, and I just forgot to upload new videos. And partly the reason being was that I was having a blast. Like I've been having the past like 3 days have been a lot of fun. Um, and right now, I'm recovery is a strong word. Like, had a pretty big weekend, so got up a little bit later today than normal. You might be able to hear in my voice that it's a little bassier. And I'm like journaling, writing, sort of part of the morning routine. Um, Daily thoughts. Don't super have one. Things are pretty good. I have a big week ahead of me, multiple gigs lined up, um, photo shoots, and some other interesting projects. I'm excited about assisting a good friend of mine who is a prop master in Hollywood and really like getting to get into the nitty gritty of like the kind of work that she does and helping her with meetings and setups and stuff. So um, it's a lot of what I moved to LA for. As an artist, I am quite blessed to be in a position where I am getting paid consistently as a photographer. So um, it's a real boost. Like as an artist, like I know so many artists who have like big followings and big names on social media, and then like um, are close enough to being famous that you would think are in better shape financially, and they look at the kind of money that like I make as a photographer and go like, oh, I wish that was my life. And then me as a photographer, I'm like, ah, oh, thank God I can pay my rent. um, but really, like I moved to LA from San Diego because I wanted to push myself more creatively and artistically and get further out of my comfort zones. And because as a photographer, a lot of like what pays my rent, and I think like that's the phrase that I use most consistently because um, the gigs come in from a lot of different directions, but there's like the bookings that were like you get the one gig for the month and I'm good. Um, and those tend to include a lot of like perfect blue skies and attractive, ethnically ambiguous people pointing at things, like tourism photography and stuff that we use in like brochures for like local governments and things like that. So I do a lot of that stuff that takes care of me. And then as an artist, I'll shoot editorial stuff and portrait type stuff of other fellow artists, musicians, DJs. That stuff is fun. Um, so that's the stuff that I'm up here uh, cultivating more in LA. I am drinking my coffee that has butter in it, bulletproof coffee. It's one of my again part of my daily routines. Um, yeah, today I'm going to be spending some time doing some intention setting and organizing things in my schedule and really setting the energy for the week so that I can really dive into it. And then at 4 p.m., I have a therapy session. I've been doing EMDR, as I've been mentioning on previous videos, which is I'm super optimistic about and definitely opens some things up. And then in the afternoon, I am sitting in on a hip hop podcast that they've asked me to join in on, um, where I won't get into the details of this, where their intention is to blast off and record that and promote it all, like put it publicly. So I'm just there to kind of like trips it a little bit and help navigate some of the feelings and emotions and whatever comes up. So Yeah, this weekend I had an amazing time. I spent a lot of time with the leadership team, the national team of Dance Safe, and we uh, recorded a podcast for Burner Podcast. It was episode number 125, and it's phenomenal. It's like over 2 hours. We spoke for over 2 hours. It was nuts, and like I could have easily just kept going, but we had to cut it off somewhere. And got to spend some time with them afterwards. We went to a show yesterday. I saw Tale of Us in LA and Seth Troxler, and it was like I had a proper LA weekend for the first time since I've been here, like 2.5, 3 months. I think I've been here like 3 months. And yeah, I've just been working a lot and bouncing back and forth a lot between here and San Diego and other small cities around the LA region where I've been working. So to have like a legit LA weekend was definitely much needed. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to my journaling here. Just wanted to check in and say hey and share what an amazing weekend it was and how great I'm feeling and what an amazing week it's gonna be. And yeah, let's continue to normalize open and authentic conversations about mental health and processing. Love you all. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Ciao.